Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Welcome.
I don't like the funny voices, actually.
Stop it then.
Hello. Well,
What the fuck was that?
What's wrong with me?
All right, then, let's have a non-funny voice. Hello.
Hi, Paul.
Welcome to the pod with Paul and Guy. It's called That's Just Ridiculous.
But that's a funny voice. Don't put a funny voice on. Just say, good to have you back on the pod.
Good tobacco Good tobacco have you got? Guy.
Yeah, good tobacco have you got? That's just ridiculous.
Yes, that's just ridiculous. All right,
With
we're here now.
ball and pie.
We're in the room.
We are.
In the room. We are actually in the room today.
We are.
It's evening tide.
Yes.
Guy has his casual plaid shirt on, open to the neck, with a few tufts of hair sticking casually.
No, that's the microphone.
No, that's there. That's hair, Guy. I can see it.
Okay, great. Not like Collishaw. He likes a good, what I call the welcome mat.
Yeah, the rug.
The rug. Ponders.
Like the 70s rug, yeah, that you do get. Some gentlemen sport effortlessly.
Do you depilate?
Say again, sorry.
Do you depilate? That means do you cut?
I shaved my chin. That's depilation, isn't it?
Yeah, on your body, I meant.
On my body. What part
you know
of my body?
Well, any part. And the question is, do you
I've
do
just
it?
told you on my chin.
But nowhere else.
My head?
But nowhere below the neckline.
No, never.
That's very nice. Unreconstructed gentleman.
Do you do that?
Yeah.
Do you want you shave your knacker bag?
This is the pod, Paul.
You asked the question. I am.
I actually meant on your chest.
You shave your chest?
Sometimes. Is that weird?
Very.
Really?
I think so.
I thought it was quite de rigueur.
God.
Do you know what that means?
Not in the context of shaving your chest, no. It's weird, actually.
I don't think it is. Young men do it all the time.
Well, if you
see football players and they take off their shirts at the end of the match, or even in it sometimes, there's never a hair to be seen.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, Guy, if you had to do it yourself and that's what you did, what would happen is that you'd come walking towards somebody in the showers and you'd be hairless. And
The showers?
And as you walk,
what showers are these?
in the football thing that you just talked
thing,
about.
yeah.
And then as you walk past, they'd look round and you'd be completely covered in hair at the back because you couldn't reach round to get your hair off. Mm-hmm. So that's just not going to work for anyone, is it?
There's a service in London you can go and have it done. Waxed.
Well, I expect there is, yes. You can have a lot of things done in London.
In London?
Doesn't mean you go up in London.
I mean, Billy Lardner, in London they drink coffee. She goes, would you like another cup of tea, Billy? And he goes, in London they drink coffee.
Guy, you know what I mean.
In London they drink coffee.
They do things in London that we don't do here.
In London
they do it over here, there, but we don't do it.
What do you think of the BBC?
Sorry?
What do you think of the BBC?
In what way?
In any way. And the reason I asked, Paul, is because I don't know whether you know, it's in a way quite sad that you don't, that it was the podcast awards were given out this morning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm afraid we didn't
win.
We were not mentioned. We didn't win. We were not mentioned. But they had on Radio 5 Live, a little article about it, little piece about it. And they were talking to the people who did win a thing called the Rachel Bland Award, which she was a journalist who died of cancer quite recently. And while she was dying...
She podded her death.
Yeah, no, not quite podded her death. She podded her illness. And it was called Me and the Big C. Pretty sure it was called that. And it became a very popular podcast. And they pushed it. And they talked about it a lot on Radio 5 Live. She was their mate, obviously. And now her husband has made a prize for podcasts which I think are to do with medical matters. And they had the winners on, and there was something about it that really annoyed me. The winners were...
Is this sour grapes about us not winning the podcast
No, it's not
award?
really, actually. I'm going to make another point altogether. What they said was that we've got them on...
Because can I just say something? I don't give a flying fuck about the podcast award.
You would if we'd won it.
I don't care, Guy.
Okay, all right. So
I do not care. I'm not doing this for awards.
Okay, so they had these three women
as well,
on.
They
had these three women on who had done a podcast. I think it's called Surviving Addiction. Okay, and they were young women, and they were being given the Rachel Bland Prize, and they got them on the phone, and they pretended that they had them all on the phone, that they were going to break the news that they had won on the phone. Which immediately my kind of bullshit detector...
How do you know they pretended?
What?
How do you know they were pretending?
Because if we had been rung up by 5 Live, said, can we have me and Paul, can we have the two of you on the line? I would have said, this can only mean one thing. Why are they going to have to talk to the two of us on 5 Live on the day of the podcast awards? And they made the people, they don't know if they made the people, they went along with it. The women went along with it really well. And then they said, oh, well, I don't know whether you know, but we're going to tell you now. In fact, Steve Bland, her husband, came on and said, I'm really happy to tell you that that you've won the Rachel Bland Prize. And then they did that annoying thing that happens on the BBC where they have a kind of fake joy squealing. We won! Do you know that thing you hear it on Radio 1 a lot where they jump up and down and it's a kind of fake jollity? It's just like they knew they were going to win.
You grumpy old curmudgeon.
No, and they forced them into this play acting, which I didn't like at all.
God,
they should have said, when they said you've won, they should have said, they said, what do you feel about that? They should have said, well, we knew perfectly well we'd won. Why do you think you've rung us up to tell us we'd lost? So I didn't like that.
No.
And then they started chatting to them a bit, and it was called Surviving Addiction. And they said, they said, well, what's it about? And one of the women said these 2 sentences, her first 2 sentences. Her first sentence was, at the end of the day, everyone's human. And I thought, how can someone with that level of with that level of thought delivery win a fucking podcast? At the end of the day, everyone's human. But, I'm nice, I'm tolerant, I listened in, and the other ones all talked.
Have you never listened to football commentators?
Yeah, and then she went back, and they came back to her and she said, addiction and mental health does not discriminate. And I thought, fuck this. These are our leading podcasters, and they're saying things like addiction and mental health don't discriminate. It's so weak. It was so... I just thought, and I thought, wow, me and Paul are never going to win in this. If these are the rules, we are never ever going to win.
No, we're not. That's not what we're doing here.
Then they said, are you doing anything on May the 18th? It's quite good. This made me laugh this. And they said, I don't know, why? They said, because that's the day of the awards, and we'd like you to come to London's West End, to, I don't know, wherever it was, the Grosvenor Hotel, and we'd like you to be at the awards ceremony, and Steve Bland is going to give you the award live on stage. And they went, oh, and they, trilled away how happy they were about it. And I thought, this is a great opportunity now for one of them to say, great, up in the West End, get an award, let's get on it and get down and get absolutely fucking blattered.
Guy, they're not going to say that.
Is it called Ending Addiction or Surviving Addiction? And I just thought they were so... They didn't say anything, Paul, that you don't hear any kind of medium pace mind come up with. And I felt that's kind of what the BBC do, isn't it? They encourage kind of mediocre thought. Not always, not all of it, but particularly on the phone-ins and things like that. The people, they just churn out.
Look, Guy, you did ask me what I think of the BBC before you started going off on one about the fucking podcast awards.
To be honest, I don't care, but go on.
Well, there you go, neither do I. What the fuck are you on about? But anyway, I'm going to answer your question, what I think about the BBC. What can you expect from a government organ? Right.
Well, I just think that they encourage really dull... It's not quite dull, is it? It's like...
They don't want you to think, Guy.
Such a blandness.
Yeah.
And, they had 3 women on, and it's Surviving Addiction, and surely we can make some kind of just joke about it.
Have a little bit of fun about it.
Yeah, we've got to open some champagne, girls.
Yeah. Chop them out.
You're winners.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Right, you're on it tonight.
Exactly. And they're worthy.
Yes.
That's what they are. They're worthy. And
it's what
I
people
think,
like.
because I'm so sceptical, I think essentially dishonest, but I'm sure they're not.
Maybe they're not dishonest at all. Maybe they've struggled with their addictions and they've struggled with everything to get where they are. And maybe what you refer to as blandness and a lack of focus, Guy. Just a second. Maybe that's what speaks to the majority of people, because people need to hear something comforting, something that applies to the vast majority of people. And they don't want things that challenge them, and they don't want to be annoyed and harassed by the likes of us. And I can't say I blame them.
No. And
that's what the BBC is.
And at the end of the day,
it mollifies. It mollifies people.
It does, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It pours oil on any...
Radio is the what of the masses. Podcasts are the what of the masses.
I don't know. Dribble. The dribble out of the lunatic's mouth, the corner of the lunatic's mouth.
I don't know what it is, Paul, but, and I thought they probably didn't even listen to our podcast. Fuckers.
God, so upset.
No, I'm
didn't
sore.
win the podcast award. What the fuck,
no,
Guy?
I'm sore. Do you think we got any votes? I never got vote. We got one vote. I voted for us. Did you vote?
I would never
didn't,
vote.
Did you?
No.
Fucking traitor.
I would never vote for my own thing.
Maybe I didn't. I think I did.
Of course I fucking voted. For us.
Yeah. So we got 2 votes.
Lots of people voted for us.
Actually, they didn't say how many votes they got, which made me think they didn't get very many votes. Otherwise, they would have said...
An amazing number of votes.
Yeah, an amazing number of votes. They didn't say anything. They probably got 3. Fuck, we were so close.
Guy, you know...
Because there were 3 of them. That's why they beat us. There were 3 of them and only 2 of us.
Could be.
We've got to get some more people in the podcast and we'll fucking walk it.
We're not flavour of the month at the minute. I understand that, Guy. We're so much about us is wrong.
Really?
Yes. White, middle-aged men, Guy. Who the fuck... How is anyone going to vote for us?
Actually, funny enough, they were talking about Simon Armitage, who was made the Poet Laureate this week.
Yeah.
And the guy said it's a pretty incredible achievement. I think Simon Armitage is a good poet, actually.
Yeah.
He's a good writer. But they did say, what Andrew Motion said, what's the extraordinary thing about this is that he's white, middle-aged and male.
Yeah.
And that it's pretty incredible that they didn't give it to someone who wasn't the above 3 mentioned things.
Even though he was white, middle-aged and male when he had it.
Yeah, he was, yeah. He's quite bland. Andrew Motion is
rubbish.
I never really liked his poetry.
Pants. He only got anywhere because he sucked up Larkin's bumhole.
He called him Philip on the interview.
Of course, my friend Philip.
Yeah, I saw him say that.
I can't stand Motion, he's rubbish.
So there are elements of Philip.
Correctly named, in my view.
Andrew.
Why are we having a go at everything today?
She's not called
the Sour Grapes episode.
Yeah, no, it's not. We've got to brighten it up.
Come on, Guy.
We've got to brighten it up.
What do you really want to win?
Oh, I don't know.
The love of a fair maiden.
Exactly.
I know what else you want to win, Guy.
And then after...
I know what you want to win.
What?
The recognition of the Lord. The Lord himself to say, Guy, you didn't do badly.
Daddy.
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 Daddy, are you there? Daddy. Daddy, Daddy, Daddy. That's not you, Daddy. Anyway, no, it's getting grim today. Can we not do something else?
I heard that fashionable gym wear is the current trend in clothing, and I just wondered whether you were going to... I know you like to dress...
Check me out.
Rather naturally.
Check me out today.
Will you be buying some fashionable gym wear?
Already have on the eBat.
Have you?
Yeah, it's all on its way. Well, I started with this pair of...
What? What are you going to pull out?
This my trousers. No, they're my shorts. Because
Did you buy them on the internet?
Yeah, I bought these on the internet. They're cool, aren't they?
Are they army issue, are they?
These are a copy of World War II trousers.
Paul got drunk and acted out. He bought military clothes on the internet, was blind drunk at 2 in the morning.
I couldn't remember what I bought.
In the morning he said, Guy, I've been acting out. I said, oh yeah, tell me about it. And he said, I've been buying military clothes on the internet.
And then the next day, a fairly good pair of shorts, which I'm wearing now, a quite good weird suit thing that German soldiers used to wear to clean their weapons, apparently.
It was a very internet arrival because it was a huge box with about 4 things right at the bottom.
And then 2 really massive jackets, which are going to have to go back, which
too big for me.
Enormous.
Yeah. And a German naval cap. which we've still got, actually.
Oh, no, I want to keep that. I like that.
Yeah.
It actually fits me. So I'm going to put that, to good use later.
Where are you going to wear that?
On my boat. Where do you think?
Oh, I think you're going to make Glastonbury.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. With a dress.
What a cliche you have become.
Oh, fuck off.
No, I'm sorry.
You're just jealous, Guy. He's in a really grumpy mood today because... Shall I tell them why?
Yeah, you can.
Because Guy forgot. He was getting all these tickets for Glastonbury because he lives in Pilton. If you don't know that already, now you do now. And he forgot to get his own for the house. So him and, well, I'm not going to say who else, but a couple of the tickets have been overlooked. Basically, the most important ones. So he's in a fucking stinking mood right now.
Yeah, it looks like I'm not going to go to the party. But what we've decided is that I'll just stay at home.
Base camp.
Yeah.
I'm happy to do that. I've told you already.
To be honest, I've never been over there when I've not wanted to be at home.
It's only the fact that you haven't got the ticket that's going to make you want to go.
Yeah. I need to get over that. Anyway, for all the many people who I've said, see you there, I'll be there, look forward to it. Sorry, friends.
Probably not.
Come by my house.
It'll be better here anyway.
Yeah.
Especially if it's raining.
Yeah, some Tom Petty on the...
Tom Petty.
On the iTunes.
Yeah, listening to Tom Petty. So what were you going to talk about anyway? So you had all these things you wanted to talk about, you told me.
I said it, I'm talked out.
What, is that it?
Yeah. Well, about the podcast awards.
For fuck's sake.
We very rarely bring anything, in fact, almost never say, I want to talk about something. But today we've done it and it's been an abject failure. we must never do that. We must never do notes again.
No, well, God, Guy, I did warn you about that, didn't I? We never do notes. And Guy's got about 5 things, I can see them from here, 5 things angrily scribbled on the inside of a book.
Yeah.
But
at the end of the day, everyone's human.
It didn't work.
Addiction and mental health do not discriminate. Oh
Guys,
my God, what an amazing thought. What an incredible...
Will you stop going on about it?
What an incisive thought. I must listen to that podcast. If she can think sentences like that, then wow,
God,
what a gold
Sour Grapes about somebody else's podcast.
Yeah.
Sour Grapes, Guy, I've already explained to you why people like it. What do you always say? For every pot, a lid. Just because...
Yeah, but so few lids fit our pot.
Because we're Le Creuset. Really old ones.
Yeah,
you can't get any more.
The vintage Le Creuset of pods.
We can't get any more. Yeah, right. There are lids and there are pods.
Right.
For every pod, a lid. Yeah, exactly. I want a cigarette.
Yeah. Dylan. Oh God, where is he when you want him?
We're going in, Guy.
Yeah.
But we are at the minute going into a world where nothing makes sense.
Well, what do you mean going into? I've been abiding in it for about 30 years.
Abiding. Abide with me.
Some things make sense.
What?
Well, language makes sense.
They
cannot take that from me.
They can't.
Well, how would you be?
What about dementia, Guy? Don't fucking tempt fate.
Hey, how would you be under torture?
Under torture?
Yeah.
Depends what kind of torture you've got in mind.
The nasty kind.
No. Just let's be open-minded.
They've taken
There's lots of different kinds of torture, Guy.
I'm talking about the nasty kind. They've taken you.
Guy, this is a grim pod. Stop going on about torture and horrible things.
All right, okay.
Talk about something nice. What about the nice kind of torture where...
You're doing it. Let's withdraw that remark.
Too late. You resemble it too much. What about, because we've gone on about that, haven't we, before?
What?
CBT.
But what is it?
Well, it does stand for compulsory bike test.
And Paul spit it out,
cognitive behavioural therapy.
Okay, and that's what's like. That's when you look at a photograph and they electrocute you.
No, that's just
aversion therapy.
No, cognitive behavioural therapy is when they make you understand where you're going wrong, and then you change your behaviour.
Oh yeah,
and you'll understand.
And then you go back to the original behaviour.
Yeah. And then you start acting
about
out.
2 weeks later.
And the other one is cock and ball torture.
Right.
I'm sure we talked about this, haven't we?
No, well, it's not a subject that I've ever thought about, to be honest. I've never done anything along those lines.
I know a lady who does that.
I've done some stupid things.
I know a lady who does that for a living.
What?
In California.
Oh, right.
She's a madam.
And
Not really a madam, she's a dominatrix.
Right. Is this suitable for the pod, Paul?
I don't know, Guy. Is it?
I'm not sure it is, actually. What she does, and the client lies there and she puts pins in there.
She has a special dungeon which looks like a laboratory or perhaps a Swiss clinic.
Oh, Paul, this is your. I can
And
see how you're into
and she
this.
ties them
With
onto
some knobs
this.
to turn.
She ties them onto this thing, onto this gurney, and everything's stainless steel. And she comes in a little like Richard Prince nurse outfit, and then she proceeds to. And then when I say torture, Guy, I mean the kind of torture that you and I would dread.
We'd talk under.
We would talk way before they got to that. I mean, she does things like, you know, the thing that comes down the front. You've got the things at the back, right? The two things at the back. She will get hold of one of them in a clamp and tighten the clamp up until you're squealing in agony, and then insert a needle all the way through.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Right.
Extreme torture, and men pay her to do that.
Not me.
Men pay her to do it.
Not I.
What kind of man would want that?
Well, that is an interesting question. An idiot?
She says it's control freaks.
Right.
That's what they get driven to in the end, you see, your control freaks. People who are in control of every aspect of their life can't bear to be in any fucking situation where they're not the master of everything. They are driven into her arms. And she said, unfortunately, by the time they reach her, they're so wealthy and so desperate. Somebody has to do something. And she does the twin thing. She alleviates them of their money and she gives them the pain they need.
Right. God.
What a fucking gig.
Yeah. Do you think it's a nice job?
She loves it.
I personally wouldn't like that.
What, you wouldn't like being the giver or the taker or either?
Either.
You don't want any involvement in that?
No, I wouldn't like to do that.
But
for money.
But would you invest in it?
No. It's unethical.
What's unethical about that?
Well, it just doesn't feel right.
It's a bit sick. Because what happens is, I think, is those people...
Barry's done really well. He bought shares really early in the
ball torturing game. But let's drill down, guys. Let's drill down into that.
You should see his house.
Let's drill down into it a little bit.
Also, I don't believe your story because no one puts a pin right through
Guy,
it.
I'm telling you, that's what she does. She knows exactly how to do it, what width of pins to use, how far to go in, all the rest of it. She's a technician. Everything's super clean. But Guy, do you know why that happens? Do you know why it happens? Do you know why those guys want that?
You just told me.
No, I haven't told you everything. Because in their daily lives, through their control and their behaviour, they're doing it to everybody else. And so they need to make amends. It's a deep-seated need.
Well, those kind of blokes don't normally need to make amends to me. They are very happy being incredibly shitty to everyone around them. And what's the fucking problem? Do you know what I mean? Those big businessmen.
Obviously,
they're bastards.
They don't tell you everything, do they, Guy? If you know a few of these people, they're not telling you everything.
Can't say I know very many.
No.
It's
a bit like these guys, you know, these evangelists, everything, who go on about the homosexuals, and then they all find, you know, then the next thing they got caught, you know, with the lad, with the office junior, in the photocopy room or whatever it is.
Bible studies.
In Bible studies, and it's so fucking common. It's not even a joke anymore.
No. Oh God!
This is the world we live in.
It's a terrible world that you're depicting tonight.
Fucking grim, isn't it? Yeah. You started with the Pod Awards. With the nepotism of the BBC.
Not nepotism. It's not nepotism. It's about, let's pick something that is just like the edge is in sight, but we're so far back from it. And they are really going to put into... I can't talk about it again. They're going to put into words...
What are you talking about again?
Our kind of dullest thoughts. And then we can all go, oh, bless. That's the sort of the English sentimentality.
God love him.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, lovely.
Bless.
Oh.
Yeah. It'd be good to do the addiction recovery podcast and clearly out of it.
Really fucked. So we're really glad to be off it. We're both really glad we're off it. Anyway, Guy.
Ding, 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 ding.
Ting, ting, ting.
How many minutes are we in?
I don't fuck knows.
No, I'm talking about them, not us.
Oh yeah. Fuck it, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just give him another ring.
Yeah.
Give him another ring. Where is he? Where is the fucker when you need him? But anyway, no, we live in a life. What we are heading towards, Guy, throughout all for
It's the Rachel Bland Award.
No, through
that
the
is
smoke,
what we're heading for.
Through the smoke and misery
Yep.
and darkness
Is what?
and satanic mills of our discussion today is the sunny uplands of
what?
Of enlightenment, because that's what those people represent but don't deliver. See, the BBC are offering something which they don't deliver, and that's people. What they do is they don't see what the delivery end is; they just see what's being offered. That's how religion works. No religion ever failed by offering too much. They only fail when people demand to see the securities.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that you can offer fucking anything. We used to call it "promise the earth, deliver nothing."
In what? In the art world?
In anything, it's a fabulous fucking formula for success. Promise the earth, deliver nothing.
Absolute nonsense, Paul. All the people who are successful who I know, and I don't know many, but I know some, deliver a lot.
Who are they then?
Well, look at yourself.
I'm the exception that proves the rule, guy. And by the way, I'm not that successful.
No, all writers who are any good.
If you deliver too much, then they think you're sucking up and they think you're too easy.
Unfortunately not, Paul.
I think
If you
you'll find...
deliver too much, they make lots of money out of it and you'll do really well.
No.
It's under-delivery, I think, that is the issue.
Under-delivery?
With me. But we're putting that right. I'm about to go away and I'm about to bring back a book. I'm going to go out.
Guys going
into
out.
Where do I go? I go into the jungle of...
You go into the nether regions.
Of something and I return...
You go into the darkness of your own unconscious mind,
I return
guy.
weather-beaten.
You go up the river.
Blasted face.
Up the river
holding
of your own unconscious into the darkest
when you
place.
Say, I go up somewhere, that's for certain.
Up your own arse. Where does
I'm
it
going to
come
bring back
from?
a blinder this time.
Where does it come from, Guy?
I think fear or shame or desperation. I think fear of being completely ignored, shame at not being good enough. They're the two main drivers when I turn in a book. Is just like if I don't do this, I basically can't show myself even in my own mirror, let alone in a party in London.
It's better not to even try.
Can't do that. That's not an option.
Well, in some ways,
I think if you're an artist, that's what makes an artist.
You can hold off for a year or two, but you can't hold back the tide forever. You've got to do something about it eventually.
Yeah, finally, just the fear and the shame drive me to get down to it.
And desire, don't you think desire comes into it?
Yeah.
A desire to make something.
Yeah, to do something good, yeah.
To do something half decent
in
a world of shit.
Yeah, half decent. That'd be good. Half decent.
Guy, you've done half decent things before.
Oh,
You've done decent things.
Thank you.
Lovely things.
Yeah.
Just because people don't want to pay any money for it, that doesn't mean it's not any good.
What do you mean? Fuck off. You've got to... Actually, the listeners need to know...
I don't want to talk about this.
Paul has a book. I think it's...
No, Guy, we've already discussed this.
Okay, all right.
Why do you want to talk about that anyway?
Tender book.
What's wrong with my book?
Your volume.
It's a very good book.
There's another word for it. What is it? A little book of poems called... It's called...
A pamphlet?
No.
A missal?
I can't quite get it. It's a little tiny opus.
Guy, it's actually quite a long...
Epigraph. What is an epigraph?
An epigram.
Oh no, an epigraph.
A monograph.
What's a monograph?
Well, it's something that one person writes on one subject.
Right, okay. Paul's monograph. Entitled...
It's not on one fucking subject. It's on loads of subjects.
No. Don't break my glasses.
It's called Don't Be So.
Is it really?
Yeah. Dot.
A very pregnant phrase. Don't be so... ... How many dots?
3. Why? Is that significant?
Well, I would have thought so.
Shall I tell you a poem from Don't Be So?
Yes.
It's called Roving Eye.
All right, okay.
One day, my eyeball found some extra torque, popped his socket and went out for a walk, patrolled along below the ankle level, ignored coercions there to see no evil as being quite unfair, preferring then to see what's really there, looked up ladies' skirts and down some interesting holes, popped into a bank vault for a laugh, saw some somewhat compromising photographs belonging to a peer. Next time, I'm going to send my ear.
Very nice, thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Shouldn't it have been up some holes?
No, Guy, you've got that wrong.
You said, what is it? What's that line again?
But no, actually, I missed out. Barreled down an air conditioning pipe. Secret installations there to snoop. And popped into a bank vault for a laugh. But anyway, you get the gist. It was not about looking.
Look up. Look. up some skirts,
the
and
wrong
down
kind.
some holes.
No, down some very interesting holes.
Right.
It's not about that.
Okay, I'm sorry, I misread that.
Well, obviously, what happened, Guy, was you were
How did the world...
What's the word? You were misdirected by my skill. Very, very deftly.
Yeah, exactly.
Very deftly, Guy.
I don't know what it is about your poetry, Paul.
You hate it.
No, not at all. No, I adore it. I adore your poetry. We must have more on the pod. If you want more Paul poetry, we're going to make a separate pod.
The poetry of Paul.
The poetry of Paul Fryer. Maybe that would probably win the Rachel Bland Award. And what I've
Are you
realised-
saying my poetry is bland?
I've only just realised it now. She's called Bland.
Bland, exactly.
Fucking hell! Because
But she did die.
only because I know her as a voice. Actually, she was a lovely woman. I'm not trying. I don't want to be rude about Rachel Bland.
No, well, don't be then, you fucking wanker.
That's the award that I have
That's
a problem
enough.
with. And Steve, her husband.
Never mind, Steve. You're always just stop running people down.